Hi guys. Anyway, it's Connor. Um, this weekend I met one of my heroes. I met my favorite actor. I met one of our favorite guys. I got to meet Sean Patrick Flanery, and it was kind of a big deal for me. um, this actually happened after I met him the first time. I had to walk away. Um, I can't begin to tell you how cool he is. He's just perfect, down to earth, amazingly hot. Um, when I went on Saturday, I was supposed to have a photo op with him. At, my email said 5, but because Norman canceled, they put Danny Trejo, the machete guy, in at 5, and bumped Sean up to 4 o'clock. We get there, I see him walk away, and I get excited because it's Sean, and I knew like one of a million things would happen. I would either not be able to speak, or I would get inexplicable word vomit, inevitable word vomit, because I ramble when I'm nervous, and I was so nervous, I literally thought I was going to be physically ill a couple of times. And, um, they come up to me and said the opposite 4, I had missed Sean. I had to really fight not to cry at that point. Sadness at that time. But thanks to my totally awesome cousin, she talked him, sweet talked us into letting me into day 2 and using my op today. We didn't know that Sean was going to have a table, and thank God he did. I walked up, autographs were $30, and there wasn't any way I was not shelling out, the $30. And, you see him, and you're in line, and I didn't realize how skinny he was. Like, I don't know if he's, like, if it's for Dexter or whatever, because I know he's in this, like, whole next new season here, this last one, but whatever. He's still amazing. He's like a 10. Like, in pictures and on screen, he looks good, but in person, it's so much better. And if you've ever seen panel videos of Sean from cons, that Flanery is on, like, 100% of the time. Like, I walked in and I knew it's going to be one of the things. He's going to be wearing one of those shirts he didn't button up all the way or a v-neck. And lo and behold, he's wearing this v-neck. And he's got the hair back, like the shaggy fall in front of his face hair. And, oh, God. The man's perfect. He's perfect. Like, I'll probably say the same thing about Norman Reedus next year. But Sean, so perfect. And, I, uh, I walked up to him and I asked, I very quietly, I said, can you please sign this poster for me? And can I get a picture with you? And he goes, I'm sorry, honey, I can't hear you. And I said, can I get a picture with you? And he grinned and he smiled. And I know that I say Jared Padalecki has a smile that can light up the sun, but when you're looking at Sean Patrick Flanery, I mean eye to eye, and talking to him, his smile is just, oh my gosh. And I took a picture with him. He actually took a couple with me. I asked him to sign. I brought my stuff here so I could show you guys because I was excited. I asked him to sign this, so he did. And I said if I ever got his autograph or I could tattoo it, I would. And I looked at him and I said, Sean, if you will sign my wrist, I will get it tattooed. So he signed my wrist, and that's on the agenda for now. What is now today? I was wearing a different Saint shirt that I'll never wear again now. You guys have probably seen me wear it. It's a Celtic cross with a prayer. And he just kind of grabs me, and I'm not complaining. But I was like, oh, okay, what is he doing? And he just starts signing my shirt, like, right here. And I'm like, ah! He's touching me. And, like, he hugs. Like, he doesn't do this sidearm hug stuff. No, I mean, this man hugs. Legit arms around you. Holy crap, I have my arms around Sean Patrick Flanery hugging. I hugged him so many times. Like, he was so nice. At one point, I went back during the day because, I took the pictures on my phone and turned it really blurry, and I came back to him and I talked to his assistant. She was very kind. And I said, Sean, I said, the last pictures I took with you, I said, man, they were blurry. I said, can I please retake them? He's like, oh, no, sure. No, sure, darling, no problem, whatever. Or babe or doll, or I don't know. He called me babe or baby at least twice. And I internally screamed so loud, I'm surprised it didn't, like, come out of my own ear. And, he we took more pictures and he just hugs and it wasn't busy for a second and he legit stood there and had a conversation with me for a good 15 minutes. We just talked and I told him, I said, I gotta give you so much credit. I said, it's so cool that you come and do this shit. And I literally said, pardon my French. And he's like, oh, like I'm fucking offended, and I was like, okay. And he's like, I love this shit, the fans and the adoration. You got these people come up to you all the time, oh man, I love you. And it's for what you do, and you do what you love. He's like, honestly, the money, not a big deal to me. He's like, it's this, it's the fans. He says, it's people like you. You come up and you make my day. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm trying to talk to him. And today, if I had the chance at the op, I was gonna have him say hello to the Walking Saints, but it was a really bad in and out ordeal. I mean, it wasn't a bad ordeal. There was nothing bad about it. It was Sean. But it was really quick in out take pictures. Well, I had 2 pictures with him because one of my other ops was a Boondock op. But since Norman had to cancel, sad panda, I got 2 with Sean. And the people specifically told us we could not ask to be hugged, and we could not ask to be kissed, which kind of sucks because I finally got ballsy, and I was going to say, can I just have a kiss right here? And so, next year, So, the first picture, I don't even care how fat I look. The first picture was just, he's so nice, and he's like, okay, thank you, and I'm like, oh, Sean, I have 2. I got all shy again. He's like, oh, well, come here, and he just full on hugs me, and the photo op people specifically said no hugging. Well, you know what? Screw you, photo op people. Sean Patrick Flanery did it, not me. So, yeah, boom, full on hug, Sean Patrick Flanery. It was amazing. Like, oh my god, like, it was the best thing ever. So, I talked to him yesterday, I said, man, I made this, like, almost 6.5 hour drive here. I said, I'm not used to this traveling shit. I was like, I don't know how you do it. He's like, you came 6.5 hours? I was like, yeah, I came all the way from northern Oklahoma, man. I was like, my whole weekend? Right here. I met him. And he's like, that's awesome, and so, and we were chatting, and so then he found out where I was from, and today he's like, hey, you have a safe trip. Are we going to see you next year? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be here. And he's like, we're looking forward to it, Well, the big story is, and I do have the picture proof to show it, so if you would like to get on Tumblr at any point in time, you could pull that up. I, hand to God, swear on my life, got the feel of the Flanery's ass, and it was amazing. Like, my cousin, I was so shy, I didn't think she'd do it. And she goes up, she goes, Sean, there's a problem with your price list. And he's like, oh, well, what do you mean? And she goes, I don't see how much a price is to grab your tush. And he goes, oh, those are free. And she goes, no, I mean yours. And he's like, oh, yeah, I know. She's like, I can. He's like, whatever. And so we took a picture, and I had to do it. I couldn't, but I couldn't get myself to say it. And I looked at him, and I'm trying to talk to him, and I mumbled, and I felt so bad because I confused him. I felt so bad, and if you ever see this, and I doubt you will, I'm sorry, Sean, but, I was just, I couldn't get the words out. I said, yeah, I said, I'm part of this big fan, this thing on Tumblr, this big fan blog for Saints, and they dared me I wouldn't do it. So what she just did, I would like to do. He's looking at me like, what, hun? And he looks at my cousin, and she goes, oh, she wants to grab your butt. And he's like, go for it. And I was like, what? It's like, fuck yeah. I was like, okay. So I did, and I have the picture to prove it. And some people won't believe it because they're meanie heads. I can't, I'm still in shock about it. Like, my cousin and I almost literally collapsed in the hallway of our hotel because we were giggling like schoolgirls. And she told me, she goes, I've always had a thing for Norman. She goes, I knew Sean was cute, but I did not think he was that beautiful. I was like, It's Sean Patrick Flanery in person on a scale of 1 to 10. He's like a freaking Chuck Norris. And, of course, my pictures aren't wanting to load on the other computer because I want to show you the proof. But, no, I got to chat with him, I got to talk to him. He's so cool, so down to earth, very friendly. I went in for the photo op and he was talking and these people goes, hey man, do you mind if we flip off the camera? He's like, oh yeah, I don't mind. And someone asked him, hey, why don't you flip the camera? And he goes, well, let me tell you this story. And you know that excited Flanery we get in the panel videos? I got that Flanery. I mean, I was right there. From me to this computer, so not that far. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. He's like, hey, my granddad would say, oh, what the fuck is this pussy flipping off shit, kind of corkscrew it, how the fuck worse would that be? And then some flipping off bullshit, and Sean's like, oh, I love this fucker. And he's like, yeah, my granddad was like, yeah, that's some pussy shit, that flipping off, and just, so now we know the story behind Sean being like, instead of boom. So, Rita flips us off, Flanery basically says corkscrew, and I said, well, wouldn't it work if you were like, and he goes, yeah, actually, but sticking with this. And I was like, okay. After I got semi-brave enough to, talk, I just, I, I still can't believe it happened. Like, I'm looking at the picture again, because, it makes my life. And, if it makes you guys feel any better, I saw no ring. This would be his left hand around my shoulder. There's not even a tan line for a ring. And the man wears jewelry. So, I mean, I think Sean would be the ring-wearing type if he were actually married. So I want to go on the record and say that I don't think Flanery's married. Girl can dream. My cousin said if she'd found out that he wasn't, she probably actually would have slipped him the hotel key. I called Daryl Saturday when I was supposed to see Sean for the photo op. Because it was going to be the photo op and leave the next day, Well, I called Daryl and I was like, oh my god, Daryl, I just saw Sean, and I was able to touch him. I gotta reach out and touch his arm, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to say anything, and I squeezed out this hi Sean, and oh my god, I'm gonna take a picture with him, I'm gonna hug him, and everything's gonna be alright in my universe, and I stopped. My cousin comes up to me and goes, we miss Sean. I don't know if you've ever literally felt your heart break into a million pieces, but it hurt. I was like, you're kidding. I thought this was some mean joke, and I was just like, no. And she's like, we did. And I was like, no. And I was in tears, like, instantaneously. She's like, we're gonna fix it. I was like, I'm taking your word for it. And, what gets me about Sean is in the picture I'm about to show you, like, he got this look at his face like, the sexy motherfucker did not even care that I was totally grabbing his ass. Well, it was already like the end of the night for Frightmare that night anyway, and they kind of had to shut the table down because we kind of caused a commotion. Like, other girls were like, oh, okay, and we were like, ha! So, here's your proof. It's not very clear. But, yeah. Dang it. Yeah, but, if you want to see the actual picture, I will post it on Tumblr. So, hope Norman is supposed to be there next year from what we hear. If, his booking agent isn't a total dip-do and schedules him bad again. But, other things I got, I wasn't passing this up. I finally have a Norman poster. And I have t-shirts. I got a t-shirt that says, Camp Crystal Lake Camp Counselor. So, we looked for Jason. I was going to have him stab me because, I was a counselor and, they all die. I got this epic Rita shirt, man. Like, it's him as Daryl Dixon with this knife, and it's really, really badass. Like, it's unique. And, I spent a lot of money, and it was totally fucking worth it. And I got this guy, because I'm a Godzilla fan, and I found him, and I had to have him. You might have seen him on my Facebook already. He's now in what I call the Adventures of Godzilla. in which I will take random pictures of him out like this. Looks like he's stomping things. Like, see how he's like stomping my couch? I'll take a picture of that because it's gonna be my thing. But and Sean's pants were so tight, like legit tight, like ugly pants, terribly ugly pants. Did not care. It was Flanery. But I hopped into the AIM chat last night and I was like, it's hard to get into Connor's mind when mind is in Flanery's pants. So, but I met Sean Patrick Flanery this weekend, and it could not have gone any better. I fuck. My theme for the weekend, even though I hate it, was YOLO. Because anything went this weekend kind of thing. Not like anything, but I got to go and live a little and achieve a dream, and it was fun. Like, I can't wait to go back next year. Legit can't. Like, I wish it were next year already. But I was so excited. I mean, when I went back to see him today, or technically yesterday at this point, I got nervous again. Even though I talked to him like 5 times, and he's just a person. That's what I kept telling myself. But I got so nervous again. And I just. I'm so starstruck. I mean, I'm starstruck now and I'm home. And I wasn't at the time. But the first time I met him, I did have to walk away after we were through. Because I got all teary-eyed. Because it was Sean. The feeling you get when he walked by the first time, it just, oh, it was elation. It was physical feeling of elation. Like, I just, and my heart just jumped into my throat. I almost got cold chills. It was so surreal that I was there and I was seeing him. And I'm not going to go much longer because my video's about to cap. And, today in the hallway, he was walking toward the photo op, and he walks in. He's got that leather coat on. It's Texas, and he's wearing a leather coat, but that's because he's Sean, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And you've all seen the gif where he's doing the crotch chop thing, and he walks by and he goes, boom! And I was just like, oh my god! And he's just, these other 2 girls just about fell over on the floor, and I just grinned. But there was a couple times where he'd walk by and just like make eye contact with me and grin because, hey, I'm the girl that grabbed your ass. But I asked, I didn't just do it. I asked. I was nice. I was good. Yeah, I was good. So, I'm done for the night. I'm gonna be online for a long time yet. So, I had to tell you, I had all these stories. Sean was so sweet. Called me babe, doll, whatever. And it was just actual perfect human being, Sean Patrick Flanery. Swear to God. But I'm gonna get off here now, and I went all out, even though Norman wasn't there. We went, there's this one you can't really see it. But yeah, Sean signed my wrist, and I'm gonna go see if I can't go to my tattoo artist tomorrow and get her done. Get her done. And then I'm gonna put Veritas above it. And next year I'll be like, hey Norman, I need my wrist signed, because I can put the other word above it. Then I literally have the Saints. So I am going to get off this video, and I will talk to you all on AIM. Bye, guys.